And I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be on all you brethren that are teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. To the 144,000, the house of David, and the great multitude, men, women, and children, the Lord have mercy on in these last days. Shalom. It's the brother Dalmar Gabar from GMS Los Angeles with another lesson, here to give you a warning from Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai. All right, and this is an article from Blacklisted News titled, "You Better Watch Out. The Surveillance State is Making a List and You're on It." All right, and one thing about this article, I will say, this is exactly what the New World Order will be about, And the only thing that's missing from this article is the mark of the the MOTB, which is going to link everything in this article together in this slave digital beast system. Well, and they didn't mention the CBDC, but everything else in this video is all what the New World Order is going to be out, a digitally controlled slave system, where you will be marked, watched, videotaped, recorded. Every single daily activity that you do will be monitored. It will be watched. It will be scored. It will be punished, or it will be so-called rewarded. All right, but this is basically what the future of the world is going to look like under the New World Order, under the rulership of Esau, Edom. And you can forget about all of the the brain chips and the the living forever and never getting sick again, and all of the the way they're going to sell this technology to the sheeple. Like they're going to heal you if you're blind, they're going to heal you if you're paralyzed, they're going to cure you of your Alzheimer, because all of that technology, all this living forever, all of this so-called salvation through technology is going to be for these elites. It's not going to be for you everyday low-life citizens that bow down and worship this man's image and you take his mark. All right, that's just how they're going to sell it to the public, to the sheeple, making you believe that they're truly going to technologically advance you to live forever and be immortals through their digital godhead. All right, that's just for them. All right, you're going to be a slave, you're going to be a worker, you're going to be constantly injected, constantly pricked, constantly prodded, constantly radiated to death, and basically be used as tools for this society, their future society, to function. But everything else in this video is spot on, and this is what they're ultimately up to, and this is what you will be, the rulership you will be under in the future. Like I said, the only thing they didn't mention was the MOTB, which is the mark of the and the CBDC, which is going to be your form of currency, which will be programmable, which will be given to you on a based off of how good of a slave you're being. All right, you only have so much of the CBDC a month to use. You'll be told what you can buy with it, what you cannot buy with it, and everything else in this article is spot on, man. So, hey, this is what you're going to sign up to, and this is the world that we're headed into. All right, so pay attention. All right, I'm going to read fast because it's kind of a long article, but everything in this article is on point. And when you're able to put the pieces together through the Holy Spirit, you'll see that this is what the Bible is warning you about. And this is why, for our people, you better choose and have faith in Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, and the power of the coming of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, because this is our people's only protection and our only salvation out of this wicked, digital slave system that this devil is about to bring down upon this earth. All right. It says, he sees when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. Yeah, Satan Claus is coming to town, which is the New World Order. All right. But just listen closely. I'm going to read fast. All right. But this is everything that's that the future holds when you when all is said and done, this damn devil tries to establish his New World Order. It says, you better watch out. You better not pout. You better not cry, because I'm telling you why. This Christmas is the surveillance state that's making a list and checking it twice, and it won't matter whether you've been good, been bad, or good. You've been on the list whether you like it or not. Mass surveillance is the deep state's version of a gift that keeps on giving back to the deep state. It says geofencing dragnets, fusion centers, smart devices, behavioral threat assessments, terror watch lists, facial recognition, snitch tip lines, biometric scanners, pre-crime, DNA databases, data mining, pre-cognitive technology, contact tracing apps. And the only thing they didn't mention is CBDCs, which are central bank digital currencies, and the mark of the beast, implantable technology that goes under the skin. All right, which is going to link all of this, technology into place to totally enslave humanity forever. It says what these add up to is a world in which, on any given day, the average person is now monitored, surveilled, spied on, and tracked in more than 20 different ways by both government and corporate eyes and ears, you see? And this is that digital beast system that these devils are creating. All right. This is where humanity is being led down to on a global level by the power of these elites. You see? And like I said, and what's going to link it all together is the MOTB and these CBDCs, which work hand in glove with all of this technology, man. All right, because all of your all of your information, your DNA, your whereabouts, your tracking, your tracing, your heart rate, every single aspect of your physical being is going to be monitored and tracked through your charagma, man. All right, they call it another term, the Internet of Bodies, the Internet of Souls, man. It says big tech wedded to big government has become big brother. Every second of every day, the American people are being spied on by a vast network of digital peeping toms, electronic eavesdroppers, and robotic snoops. All right. And one of the main ways that they're doing that right now is through your cell phone, which is why, basically, they made it to where you basically can't leave your home without your cell phone. That little tiny device is playing a huge part in this surveillance state. It's doing a huge job for these devils, learning, what you think, what you buy, where you're going, your daily moves, your daily activities, your daily routines. And they're tracking that, and they're creating a digital database and a digital, how about I say, like a digital copy of you in this technology, man. And this is why ultimately they're going to look to put these things inside of your skin, put that mark of the what inside of you, which is going to be your new form of the cell phone. It says this creepy new era of government/corporate spying in which we're being listened to, watched, tracked, followed, mapped, brought, sold, and targeted has been made possible by a global army of technocrats, techno-tyrants, fusion centers, and peeping toms. Consider just a small sampling of the tools being used to track our movements, monitor our spending, and sniff out all the ways in which our thoughts, actions, and social circles might land us on the government's naughty list, whether or not you have done anything wrong, you see? And they're literally going to try to play God with this technology. That's why, in the future, if eventually in the future, the way that they're planning it, they're not going to have to, physically, come to your door and punish you. They're not going to have to come well, they can, but they're not going to have it to where, they're going to have to physically come and threaten you, man. Everything that you do will be tracked on this huge grid. And at any moment they can punish you, by you being linked through your charagma. They'll have you, in this 5G, 6G digital system where everything that you do is going to be watched in real time. They're going to have AI sitting back through these supercomputers, watching you, penalizing you, punishing you. And then eventually, if they have to, they'll come and send the robots or the drones or whatever force that they have to come and physically grab you up and take you and deal with you personally, It says here, so it says tracking you based on your phone and movements, and which in the future, they're not going to need the phone because they're going to have this technology within you. Remember, the Internet of Bodies, the charagma. It says cell phones have become de facto snitches, offering up a steady stream of digital location data on users' movements and travels. For instance, the SBI was able to geofence data to identify more than 5,000 mobile devices and their owners in a 4-acre area around the Capitol on January 6th. So imagine in the future, they're going to have this, this ability to geofence the whole planet Earth globally. This is their plans, man. And you will be a little blip on the screen through your charagma. However many they're going to put inside of your ass so that this can become, just another normal day, a walk in the park. Because right now, all you really got to do is just not have a smartphone. All right. If you, can live without a smartphone and not be constantly plugged into that thing, having that tracking device in your pocket everywhere you go, then it'll be hard for them to keep markers and tracks on you, man. They won't be able to learn your shopping habits, the videos that you watch, the different things and activities that you do on social media and YouTube, which is why those things are nothing but tracking apps. It's just more, it just makes it easily accessible for these devils to learn a lot about you, man. So if you can get rid of those things, hey, then it's going to be harder for them to keep tabs on you. But in the future, man, they're going to have that charagma in you, which is going to do all of these things and more. It says this latest surveillance tactic could land you in jail for being in the wrong place and time. Police are also using cell site simulators. Right. So imagine in the future you over here doing some shit that you're not supposed to do, or if you're trying to plan some type of get together that's plan to speak against the government or do this or do that outside of the status quo, hey, they'll easily be able to find you and follow you and everybody that you're meeting with and be geo-tracked, geo-fence. And they'll know everybody who's there and boom, whap, in real time, they'll be able to penalize all of you niggas, man. Or send in the drones, send in the robot paddy wagon to terminate and discipline all of you on site, man. It says police are also using cell site stimulators to carry out mass surveillance of protests without the need for a warrant. Moreover, federal agents can now employ a number of hacking methods in order to gain access to your computer activities and see whatever you're seeing on your monitor. Malicious hacking software can also be used to remotely activate cameras and microphones, especially on your phone, offering another means of glimpsing into the personal business of a target. See? So these niggas are literally trying to play God, man. You're not going to have any privacy. You're not going to be able to do anything. You're not going to be able to have your own thoughts in your own head without him being able to peep in and hear what you're thinking, and then be able to, like on the Minority Report, charge you with pre-crime thoughts, man. So this devil, man, he's really trying to go there and take it there, man. It says tracking you based on your DNA. DNA technology in the hands of government officials completes our transition to a surveillance state. If you have the misfortune to leave your DNA traces anywhere a crime has been committed, you already got a file somewhere in some state or federal database. Albeit it may be a file without a name, by accessing your DNA, the government will soon know everything else about you that they don't already know. Your family chart, your ancestry, what you look like, your health history, your inclination to follow orders or chart your own course, etc. After all, a DNA print reveals everything about who we are and where we come from and who we will be. And this is why they've been doing a lot of these fucking genealogy tests, those 24, whatever that shit was called, 27, 28 and me. People were willingly given the DNA, swabs of their DNA. So now they use that shit to create a whole database on all of you people based on your DNA and your genetics. This is why they're always, pulling your blood and testing your blood at the hospitals, man. All of that shit is just not going into some, unknown file, man. They're taking these things and they're using it, for their wicked purposes. It says, it's only a matter of time before the police state pursuits of criminals expand into genetic profiling and a preemptive hunt for criminals of the future. See, tracking you based on your face, which we know this has been something that they've been using, but it says facial recognition software aims to create a society in which every individual who steps out into the public is tracked and recorded as they go about their daily business. And they're doing this huge in China, man. That's why it's like 3 cameras for every however many citizens there are in that country, man. It says, coupled with surveillance cameras that blanket the country, facial recognition tech allows the government and its cooperative partners to identify and track someone's movements in real time. One particularly controversial software program was created by Clearview AI and has been used by police, the FBI, and the Department of Homeland Security to collect photos on social media sites for inclusion in a massive facial recognition database. You see? Which is why all of these fucking apps and social media programs are more than just, fun and ways for you to communicate with your family and let people know what you're doing. You're also letting Big Brother have access to all of your information. That's why when you when you download these apps on your phone, you basically give away your permission for the government to do all these things, man. And they're doing it secretly and wickedly, man. All for the future of this NWO. It says, this is for inclusion in a massive facial recognition database. Similarly, biometric software, which relies on one's unique identifiers, fingerprints, irises, voice prints, is becoming the standard for navigating security lines, as well as bypassing digital locks and gaining access to phones, computers, office buildings, etc. See? You're literally giving over your permission through these different things, because when you sign these apps and you consent to these apps, you don't read all of the fine print, man. And I remember it was a documentary that came out on Netflix a couple of years back called, I forgot what it was called, but it was basically giving you insight on how all of these apps that you, giving them permission, you open the app. Oh, we need permission for your camera. We need permission for your to turn on your location when we want to. You see, and now we're seeing what is all this shit is being used for. It says standing for navigating security lines as well as bypassing digital locks and gaining access to phones, computers, office buildings. In fact, greater numbers of travelers are opting into programs that rely on their biometrics in order to avoid long waits at airport security. Scientists are also developing lasers that can identify and surveil individuals based on their heartbeat, scent, and microbiome. You see? And this is how far this devil is looking to go. What's it say? Tracking you based on your spending and consumer activities. See, the devil is accomplishing a diligent search, man. He's tracking and looking at every single bit, every little thing about you. He's getting a unique, detailed, insight on you and how you think and what you like, what you don't like, the type of music you like, type of food you like to eat. The sexual things that you're into based off your search history. They even know what type of porn you like to watch and what type of fetishes you have, man. So this devil, man, is literally trying to be the most high on every level, man. It says, let me get a precept real fast, man. All right. This is Psalms chapter 10, verse I'll start here. Psalms 10:1. It says, why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Because all the shit is going to eventually backfire on this damn devil. We know that through the Spirit, the Lord is ultimately setting a trap for Esau, that he thinks that he's setting for the world and for, the 12 tribes of Israel, man. It says, for the wicked boasted of his heart's desire and blessed the covetous whom the Lord abhor. Right. All these different tyrants, all these different, not super, but all of these industries that are involved in this man's plan and down with these schemes and using this technology for evil and wickedness, but presented it as, peaceful and safe and for the users' fun and entertainment. The Lord's going to deal with all of these damn devils, man. All of these industries that are involved in this bullshit is going to be destroyed. You're thinking that you're winning. You're thinking that you're on the winning team, but really you're on the losing team. And the Lord is setting all of you devils up to be destroyed, man. It says, the wicked through his pride of his countenance will not seek after God. The Most High is not in all his thoughts, because he's ultimately trying to become God through his technology and through this, these systems that he have in place. It says, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. And as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. See, this devil really think he has it all figured out, man. He really think that he's on a level to move around and maneuver and get one over on the Creator, on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. And his pride is being built up through his technology. The Lord is allowing this devil to become the new Pharaoh. All right. His pride is going to deceive him. He's allowing him to be puffed up. He's allowing him to, gain access to all of this technology and using his so-called, science and his technology to, set him up to be destroyed. It says his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Here's the point I wanted. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. Now he's doing this through this technology, through these cameras, through these apps, through these phones, through, all of these, through your computer, through social media, through Facebook, through all these different avenues that he has a backdoor access to these things to constantly lurk and to be, to prey upon you people out here, man. It says in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. Right. He's using this technology to build cases on everybody. Hey, stop. He's using these different platforms and backdoors to all these different technology to use it to, to basically to find you to find you guilty of things that he's going to have laws already set in place to do. He's going to start locking people up for having what he's going to call unlawful assemblies. He's going to start penalizing you and locking you up for speech that he deems to be hateful or inciting insightful speech that can cause riots, that can cause people to think outside the box, that can cause people to want to, buck up against his policies. It says his eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. Right. He's going to eventually catch you, man. He's going to set you up to be ultimately destroyed, man, and to come up against you in any way that he seems fit, especially when you take this mark, man. And when you align yourself with this man's new system, that's it for you. You're finished, man. You're going to be under his total control, and his boot is going to be forever on your neck, man. Anything that you do that's outside of the norm, that's outside of the narrative that he deems to be whatever, you know, uh, illegal, you're finished. You're going to be punished in real time, man. And that's not a life that you want to live. That's not life. That's not living. And that's not the freedom and the privileges that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to award to his elect in the kingdom of heaven. It says, his eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. Yeah. His net is his whole goddamn surveillance system. Everything I'm reading in this article is part of this man's net. What's a net is a trap, something that's used to catch prey. And you are going to be a prey in this man's new world order system, man. You see, especially if you have, especially if you thinking outside the box. It says, he croucheth and humbleth himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones. You see? And that's what he's setting up, man. He's setting up these people to be ultimately snared and trapped, man. And he's gonna bring everybody into this new world order system by manufactured famines, by collapsing this economy, by allowing law and order to fall, to totally bring in anarchy and chaos and destruction and famine and drought and power outages, man. He's going to allow the people to suffer drastically and blame it on climate change. Blame it on, he's going to blame the prophets. He's going to blame extremists. He's going to blame ideologies. He's going to blame religion. He's going to blame God. He's going to blame anything that he can point the finger at, but himself, to lure people into this net and this trap known as the Fourth Industrial Revolution, man. All right. It says industries that evolve around predicting one's behavior based on data and surveillance patterns are also shaping the behaviors of whole populations. One smart anti-riot surveillance system purports to predict mass riots and unauthorized public events by using So let's say in the future you want to gather around to just go pray. Guess what? That's going to be an unauthorized public event. You're going to be punished. You're going to be rounded up. You're going to be grabbed up, and you're going to be labeled, man. It says by using artificial intelligence to analyze social media, news sources, surveillance videos, feeds, and public transportation data. It says tracking you based on your spending and consumer activities. With every smartphone we buy, every GPS device we install, every Twitter, Facebook, and Google account we open, every frequent buyer card we use for purchases, whether at the grocers, the yogurt shop, the airlines, or the department store, and every credit and debit card we use to pay for our transactions, we're helping corporate America build a dossier for its government counterparts on who we know what we think, how we spend our money, and how we spend our time. You see, so these apps are more than just social media platforms. They're fucking agents of Satan, man. To where you're willingly giving these devils all the information and all the access to your daily lives and your habits that they need, man. You see. And that's why, I think brothers put a video, I think the elder put a video saying, be careful what you post on TikTok and Facebook and all these other platforms, man. Now, I know you're going to say, well, I don't give a damn, the devil know anyway, but it's just, you're just giving him more of a case to build upon you, man. You're making it easier for this devil to roll on you, man. Which, I know I'm being tracked. I know they know what I do, but I don't have social media like that. I'm not posting pictures. I'm not posting my face. I don't take selfies. I'm not doing shit like that. Not that I'm saying that like they don't have shit on me anyway, but I'm just not handing over their fucking, everything they need to know about me on the, like that, like, the average person does, just got to be wise and be smart, man, and a lot of that shit is all vanity and bullshit anyway, but you can see what it's ultimately being used for, It says, that's why, a lot of people now are just trying to, as long as you can, try to use cash more often, man, so they won't have to know how your spending habits are on a daily basis, man, and that's another way for these devils to learn your spending habits in the places that you frequent on a regular, because that's where you swipe your card and spend your money on a regular. So it's easy for them to predict what you can do and where you go and where you might be on a daily basis. It says consumer surveillance, by which your activities and data in the physical and online realms are tracked and shared with advertisers, has become big business, a 300 billion industry that routinely harvests your data for profit. Corporations such as Target have not only been tracking and assessing the behaviors of their customers, particularly their purchasing patterns, for years, but the retailers has also funded major surveillance in cities across the country and developed behavioral surveillance algorithms that can determine whether someone's mannerisms might fit the profile of a thief, you see? So these devils is getting the goods, man, and you're willingly giving it to them by thinking that you're just, you know, shopping and living your life, man. They have a fucking online database, an online profile on every single person, man. It's wickedness. It says tracking you based on your public activities. Private corporations, in conjunction with police agencies throughout the country, have created a web of surveillance that encompasses all major cities in order to monitor a large group of people seamlessly, as in the case of protests and rallies. And you better believe, as far as us going out there and preaching, hey, they're keeping track of that. They're listening, you know. It says they are also engaging in extensive online surveillance, looking for any hints of large public events, social unrest, gang communications, and criminally predicted individuals. See, and eventually, you know, they can label anybody that. You know, it's going to be a very broad category in this, man, which they'll be able to label anything. You know, you know, extreme or having the intention to harm or to do something evil, you know. It says defense contractors have been at the forefront of this lucrative market. Fusion centers, 330 million a year, information sharing hubs for federal, state, and law enforcement agencies monitor and report such suspicious behavior as people buying pallets of bottled water, photographing government buildings, and applying for a pilot's license as suspicious activity. Well, pretty soon, holding the scriptures in our hands is going to be suspicious activity. You know, buying, you know, large amounts of food is going to be a suspicious activity. You know, anything that you can do that could make you be self-sufficient or, you know, not conforming to the status quo is going to be deemed suspicious activity. You're going to be targeted. You're going to be watched. You're going to be on the red list, you know. What says tracking you based on your social media activities. Every move you make, especially on social media, is monitored, mined for data, crunched, and tabulated in order to form a picture of who you are. See, like I was saying earlier, what makes you tick, and how best to control you when and if it becomes necessary to bring you in line. As The Intercept reported, the FBI, the CIA, NSA, and other government agencies are increasingly investing in and relying on corporate surveillance technologies that can mine constitutionally protected speech on social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram in order to identify potential extremists and predict who might engage in future acts of anti-government behavior. This obsession with social media as a form of surveillance will have some frightening consequences in coming years. As Helen A.S. Pumpkin, writing for the NBC News, observed, we may very well face a future where algorithms bust people in mass for referencing illegal Game of Thrones downloads. The new software has the potential to roll, Terminator style, targeting every social media user with a shameful confession or questionable sense of humor. You see? It's going to be a complete fucking slave system, man. All right? You're not going to be able to do anything outside of this man's control. You're not going to be able to do anything without this man having the final say so. You know? And this is where everything is heading. Like I said, the only thing they didn't link into this article is the MOTB and the CBDCs, man. It says tracking you based on your social network, not content to merely spy on individuals through their online activity. Government agencies are now using surveillance technology to track one's social network, the people you might contact with by phone, text message, email, or through social media in order to ferret out possible criminals. Yeah, they're going to link everybody together. Everybody that's in your group chat is all being linked together. You know, they know who you call most frequent. They know, you know, who you might call in a jam. And they know everybody that's, that's basically thinking the same way that you think and believing the same things that you believe in, man. It says an FBI document obtained by Rolling Stone speaks to the ease with which agents are able to access address book data from Facebook, WhatsApp, and Apple iMessage and services from the accounts of targeted individuals and individuals not under investigation who might have a target individual within their network. You see? And this is where that whole snitch line is going to come into play, man. You know, they're going to contact your parents, contact, you know, people that you just might know in the world, you know, and have them dime you out and snitch you out, man. Hey, we know that you know Jackson Barnes and he's been online talking about some very illegal and very extreme views, man. What do you know about this? Has he told you about this? What do you think he's planning? And people going to betray their family members and betray one another to be taken off into the gulags, man. See, and this is all what this new world order is going to be about, man. This is where the earth is going. This is the type of society that this devil is slowly leading everybody down. It says, what this creates is a guilt by association society in which we are all as guilty as the most culpable persons in our address book. See, and this is how they're going to separate a lot of people. This is how they're going to, like I said, they're going to have that snitch hotline, man. This is how they're going to separate those that's going to obey and shut the hell up and be good sheep from those who are going to be black sheep and those that's going to rebel. It says tracking you based on your car, blah, 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 license plates, reader, whatever. What does it say? Tracking you based on your mail. Just about every branch of the government, from the Postal Service to Treasury Department and every agency in between, now has its own surveillance sector. You see? Authorized to spy on the American people. For instance, the U.S. Postal Service, which has been photographing the exterior of every piece of paper mail for the past 20 years, is also spying on Americans' texts, emails, and social media posts. Headed up by the Postal Service Law Enforcement Division, the Internet Covert Operations Program is reportedly using facial recognition technology combined with fake online identities to ferret out potential troublemakers with inflammatory posts. The agency claims that online surveillance, which falls outside the conventional job scope of processing and delivering paper mail, is necessary to help postal workers avoid potential blah, blah, blah. So now the government wants us to believe that we have nothing to fear from these mass spying programs as long as we've done nothing wrong. Don't believe it. The government definition of a bad guy is extraordinarily broad, see, like I was saying earlier. And they're going to stroke everybody with a broad stroke, man. The amount of things that they're going to deem extreme and bad for business is going to be ridiculous, man. All right. It's going to be to the point where you ain't going to want to say shit or do shit. You're just going to want to be a fucking slave, a good drone, a good robot, and do every single thing that you're told. Whatever that whatever they tell you to put inside your body, you're going to do it. Whatever they tell you is bad for business, you're going to believe that it's bad for business, man. You're not going to have the nerve or the bones or the ability to buck up against anything because hey, they're going to come knocking at your door. You'll be penalized. You'll be judged. You'll be locked in your house. You'll have your travel restricted. You'll have your CBDCs, what you can buy or sell be limited. Everything is going to be taken away from you with the push of a button in the future, man. All right. So a lot of people are going to comply and a lot of people are going to get in order, man. It says the government definition of a bad guy is extraordinarily broad and as a result in the warrantless surveillance of innocent law-abiding Americans on a staggering scale. As I make clear in my book, Battlefield America, The War on the American People, and on his fictional counterpart, the Eric Blair Diaries, surveillance, digital stalking, and the data mining of the American people, weapons of compliance and control in the government's hands, haven't made America any safer, and they certainly aren't helping to preserve our freedoms. Yeah. It ain't going to be no more constitutional right. You're not going to have the right to free speech. You're not going to have the right to bear arms. You're not going to have to be able to do anything to protect yourself or stand up for yourself in this man's new world order, man. You're going to be brought down. You're going to be beaten. You're going to be bruised. You're going to be, afraid to walk with your head up high, man. It's going to be like one of those 1984 movies, man. Well, you will be a digital slave in this man's beast system, man. All right. And like I said, everything in this article that they didn't mention was just this right here. And this is what's going to link it all together. And this is what's going to bring life to this beast, man. This is Revelations 16. It says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand. And we know what that mark is. That Caragua, man. All right. This is how all of that information that I was reading in this article is really going to be solidified, man. This is how they're going to put all of it together. And this is how they're going to enslave humanity through this mark. All right. Because like I said, right now, they're able to do these things, but you still have some wiggle room. You still have the freedom here in this society to kind of really disappear if you really wanted to, man. If you had enough cash, if you had enough money, and if you're willing to just totally get off the grid and not have a cell phone with a smart chip in it, and you're able to just move about and just, spend cash and use cash, while it's still an option, you could somewhat, be under the radar, not have social media, not have emails and Google accounts, and you can monitor and move outside of the grid. But the day that, the way that they're setting this thing up, that's not going to be able. You're not going to be able to live like that pretty soon, especially when they crash this currency and bring in these CBDCs. All right. That's why they're taking control of every single, all control over food and, ultimately how you can buy and sell, man. All right. And if you're not linked to this man's system, you're not going to be able to have internet access. You won't be able to have an email. You won't be able to travel. You won't be able to get on a bus, buy a car, have a job, and ultimately buy or sell. If you're not, you know, in this digital slave system that he's creating, you see, if you're not willing to give him all control and rule over you, guess what? You're going to be out here like that movie Demolition Man, living underground, living in subterranean shitholes, eating rat burgers, man. You see? It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. You see? You know, and it goes deeper than just buying or selling, man. You're not going to be able to do anything. You won't exist. All right? You're not going to be able to have access to anything unless you have this mark, man. It says, save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603, man. All right. And when you go to that word 666, let me see that Chi Psi stigma. Let me see if that's it. Chi Psi. Is this it? Let me see. Chi Psi stigma. Let me see. Okay. Let me see something. To work. I'm trying to see something. No, that's not it, huh? I was trying to look for the word stigma. Is this it? Wait a minute, Poppy. I'm not done. Almost. Here we go. The word is stigma. The word stigma, right? For 666, it says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. You see? To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers born the name or the stamp of their masters or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. And that's exactly what this devil is going to do with this charagma, with this sea hipper, man. And this is how all that shit is going to be linked to this slave digital system, man. You're going to be pricked and branded and cut into with these sea hips, man. And this is how you're going to gain access into this man's digital beast slave system. All right. It says, and there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods, which, you know, if you take this and bow down to this, hey, your God will be Esau Edom and this government and this system, man. You see, well, you'll be linked to all of this shit. And you know, you're not going to have a life. You're going to be a slave forever, man. And you're going to be destroyed in the presence of the Lamb and of the holy angels. They're going to be destroyed by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. See, like I said, all this stuff that's written is all linked with that Chi Psi stigma, man, with that sea hip, with that charagma. This is how you're going to link yourself into this whole slave system that he's going to present as salvation and peace and immortality and healing and, you know, and, immortality, you know. So, hey, we're giving you warning, let you know this is where the world is headed. And this is what this devil is bringing down the pike in the near future, man. So, hey, you better pray. You better choose what side you want to be on. Repent. Come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. To all of you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you Israelites, wherever you may be, wherever you may look like out there scattered throughout the earth that's coming across this truth. Repent before it's too late, man. And trust and have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua and not in this system, man. Because it is telling you all in this article what your life will be in this slaves slack in the slave system, man. So hey, thank you. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, putting the spirit on me and do this lesson. Lord willing, you are edified. Shalom.